Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to So Much to Talk About. My name is Nabaté Isles, and it's always a pleasure to share facts and viewpoints on sports and society. This week is a different edition. I want to feature two individuals that are dear to me and I've known for a long time. Before I introduce them, I want to make sure that to remind you to all check out past episodes of So Much to Talk About on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, NSI World. That's N is a no, S is a Sam, I is an Indigo World, to check out past interviews from So Much to Talk About. But as I mentioned before, I've known one of them for 25 years, since she was in high school, and the other guest I've known since he moved to New York when he went to attend the New School University for Jazz, and they both met there. And she, one of my guests, has played with Beyonce's band for 10 years, and he is a Grammy award-winning trumpeter who has played with everyone in jazz and hip-hop. At the Arlo Hotel in Soho, their 14-year-old son went through a horrible incident, racial profiling, and was assaulted by a woman named Maya Ponsetto, accusing him of stealing her iPhone, only to be discovered that she left it in an Uber minutes later. They are fighting for justice to make sure that she is convicted, as well as the Arlo Hotel taking full responsibility and accountability for enabling her for this behavior towards a minor. It's my pleasure to introduce my friends, Keyon Harrold and Kat Rodriguez, on So Much to Talk About. How are you both doing?
Thank you for having us, Nabaté. Thank you so much for having us.
How's it going, Nabaté? Good to talk to you, my brother. It's been a long time.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, indeed. It's been a long time knowing the both of you. Both of you are beautiful individuals, and you both have a wonderful son in Keyon Jr., 14 years old. Wanted to ask, actually, I'll start with Keyon. How is Keyon Jr. doing dealing with this situation? And Kathy, you can follow right after.
It's day by day. He's getting through it, learning lessons that we wanted to shield him from, but I guess God had another road for him. So now he's dealing with things, a little exhausted, but we getting through, and letting him know that he can stand up for himself. He doesn't have to just be taken advantage of or talked down to or disrespected, no matter how old he is. He deserves dignity. He deserves respect. And as Black people, as a young Black man, he definitely needs to know his worth. No matter who comes out of the woodworks and decides to, want to disrespect him in any way, that he has the ability and the strength to stand up for himself. As a father, basically, my job is to show him that and to teach him that, so he can grow up as a whole young man, a whole Black man that's strong for his seeds one day.
Definitely. I mean, I would say adults are having issues right now with what's happening in the Capitol. So imagine a 14-year-old being attacked, right? And realizing I was born into a world that does not really like the color of my skin. So imagine that feeling and really having to learn that early, 14 is really young. And we're fortunate that our child came back to us, but we know history, right? Emmett Till was 14 when he was accused.
Yes.
Right? When Bryant, she was 21. Mia Ponsetto is 22. So it's very similar, a case. Fortunately, the outcome for us was different, and unfortunately for the parent of Emmett Till, I pray. I myself, people say to me all the time, your son got to come home. And it's like, okay, the spilled milk often turns into spilled blood. And we know that. We know that too often. And if someone like Miss Gwen Carr, which is the mother of Eric Garner, tells us and, hugs me and say, keep the fight going, then we must keep the fight going, especially with a hotel that has the manager still on duty.
Wow, I was going to ask you about that. Oh my goodness.
Right?
Wow. Wow. That's yeah, we're going to get into that travesty for sure. And Keyon, I wanted to ask you, we saw the videotape. Thank God for cameras and iPhone cameras and everything. Thank God we have this going on to put light of the injustices that are happening. So Keyon, I we've seen the footage. Can you share your point of view from how it started before you took out your phone to record, as well as how it ended after that heinous assault of your son?
Mm-hmm. Um, it's the day it was the day after Christmas, and me and Keyon Jr. were hungry, so we just wanted to go downstairs and grab some brunch. So we get down the elevator, and you make two quick rights, and then you're in the lobby. When we get to the lobby, it's already kind of chaotic, because there's this person um, basically yelling and basically holding court in the lobby about her her belongings, her phone or whatever, and she's basically shaking down one person. But when she sees my son, she keys in on him like a shark, to blood. And she looks at him and she says, "It was him. He has my phone." And at that point, I'm just kind of like in disbelief. So I kind of like, I can't believe this person. I almost thought it was a joke. So I just said, you know what, let me just start recording, because things can go left really, really quickly. And as the video shows, it really did. That this person had the audacity, and absolutely no basis to believe that my son was the person who, quote unquote, stole her phone.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, that misconception is this person misplaced their phone. Wherever she misplaced it, she got it back. But she, even to this day, blames, I don't know how, I don't even know what her logic is, that she blamed our son for stealing her phone. First of all, he didn't need to steal it. Second of all, he has his own phone. Third of all, just listening to the commentary on what I recorded, you can hear her saying if he just takes off the case, we could see that it's her phone, which was ridiculous. First of all, his phone is blue, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, but even still, I started recording because just to capture certain moments, but I didn't realize the kind of moments that I was going to capture. To me, it's an actual play on just a social commentary on how systemic racism is upheld and how it's activated. Um, this person, she looked at a black boy, aimed at him, falsely accused him, and then attacked him
Mm-hmm.
with with the um the help of the enablement of the manager. The manager had no basis to question my son. Neither did this lady.
Mm-hmm.
But the manager sided with that person whom was not even a guest at the hotel.
Right.
So thank God I was there to stand up for my son and let him know, just so he can have his dignity, that no, you can't, you don't just shake somebody down just because you feel like it. I can't go to your bank, and if I lose my card, request that you show me yours. I can't
Mm-hmm.
do that. This the same thing. And I have no doubt that if my son was white, that the manager nor that lady would have done that to him. So it's a case of disrespect. It's a case of Racial profiling. It's a case of not treating your patrons right. It's the idea of a child being abused by an adult. There's so many different narratives that are going on in this, and it comes down to if I were not Black, I feel I would have been treated differently. You know, and that whole process, you know, it's about a 4-minute process. I mean, most people have only seen, you know, a minute and 15 seconds of the whole ordeal.
And what happened after, like after she attacked Key Jr., what was done? What was going on? I know you got her off of him, you know, but how did it subside?
It was a struggle. It was a struggle and grappling of trying to keep this dangerous person away from my son, who basically had no reason to even attack him. Yet, I mean, as we see now, there's so many things that have come out about her that it's tragically consistent, the kind of person who she is, and it's horrible. And the thing is, it could have been avoided if the manager at the hotel would have taken charge and not, you know, added into the system of systemic bias by, you know, anti-Blackness that says believe anybody other than the Black person.
Here on So Much to Talk About with my good friends Keyon Harrold and Kathy Rodriguez, two accomplished musicians, two wonderful individuals, and their classy son, Keyon Harrold Jr., went through an unfortunate incident of racial profiling and was assaulted at the Arlo Hotel in Soho the morning after Christmas. So Keyon and Kathy are here to talk about how they're facilitating justice for their son, Keyon Jr., here on So Much to Talk About. Now, Kathy, Mr. Benjamin Crump, no joke. This man has really been able to put out to light all of the incidents around this country of systemic racism, of racial profiling, of police brutality. This man has been able to have a national platform, and it has helped you and Keyon be able to put out there and to expose what happened at the Arlo Hotel, with him being in your corner to represent the both of you and Keyon Jr. So, Kathy, talk about how great it is to have Mr. Crump in your corner, and how powerful of a individual he is, and how inspirational he is.
Well, Mr. Crump first of all, is an amazing person. He goes from case to case, back and forth from city to city. You know, he was with Jacob Blake one day, then came back and worked with us, and then went back and was with Breonna Taylor's family, and then went back. So he is the attorney general of Black people in America. You know what I mean? Al Sharpton calls him. And he treats everyone the same. He is the most humble human being. Like, it's incredible. And it's amazing the platform that he has given us. Definitely putting me in touch with a mother like Gwen Carr that lost Eric Garner. And we saw that video. You know, it's definitely been an empowering person to have, to lift up my voice as a mother, because when you see your child go through something like this, there's nothing like it. Everything comes out. You know, you Mama Bear comes out, your lioness comes out. We're not playing around. And he understands that. He pushes for that. He is a vocal civil rights leader. I am honored to be standing next to him fighting for justice. And so, you know, a lot of people say, you know, he should have just showed his phone. And what people don't understand is that first of all, he didn't have to show his phone, like Keyon has said. But before what you see in the video, my son actually shows the phone in the hotel sequence, which will be seen later. He shows his phone from a distance and he says, no, this is not your phone. Now, the phone case that my son has, I bought it from him from Paris. It says Paris in red, white writing, and it has an Eiffel Tower on it. It is very distinctive that it's not like a black case, or, it's, you can see if it's your phone from a distance.
Mhm.
And so that's something that people haven't seen. And he used his words, like Keyon said, he used his words with this woman, he used his words with this hotel that is supposed to know how to de-escalate situations like this. And they just didn't do it. And this could have been avoided if the hotel would have done its job. At the end of the day, we expect there to be Karens out there. We
Mhm.
expect that. Unfortunately, it's sad, but it's the time that we live in.
Mhm.
However, the hotel should have done better. They should have advocated. They should have stopped this. So this is why definitely Ben Crump is in it and saying, you know what, this has to stop for institutions all over the world, not only this one, but we have to set a precedent that this has to stop.
No question about it. And there is an online petition I want to share with the audience for the Arlo Hotels to take full responsibility for enabling the racial profile of your son, Keyon Jr. And for the audience, go to the link in the bios of Keyon Harrold, at Keyon Harrold, KeyonHarrold, and Cat Rodriguez Music, at Cat Rodriguez Music, KAT Rodriguez Music, to sign the petition, online. Make sure you all do that. Keyon, has there been any oh, yes, Cat.
You can just text Keyon, Keyon, to 55156. So if you text Keyon, which is spelled Keyon, to the number 55156, the petition will just come up on your phone and you can just sign it.
Excellent. Excellent. No, thank you for that. No, appreciate adding that component. And Keyon, has there been any communication between Mr. Crump and the Arlo Hotels? Like any communication, or you just like waiting to have the petition signed and then the communication will happen with the corporate offices and everything?
I mean, I can't really talk too deeply about that, but
Mhm.
I mean, there's definitely communication happening.
Okay.
There's communication happening. Obviously, we are where we are in the fight to basically get rid of racial profiling, to have them, realize their culpability in this scenario. They put out an apology
Yeah.
after the video went viral, but I mean, I don't have to say it. I mean, thousands and thousands of other people said it best, that, you know what, it's not good enough, and they need to do more to show accountability, for being complicit in allowing my son to be attacked, allowing me to be attacked, in their establishment. Management should have did a much better job. Security should have did a much better job. And as a person, who travels a lot, as a person staying and patronizing, an establishment, I should feel safe. It should be simple. My child should be safe. I shouldn't have to worry about my child being attacked by an outsider at the hotel, while just trying to go get something to eat, trying to get some brunch. It's so many nuances to this story, because so many Black people, Black and brown people, are killed every day, for being wrongly accused of something. You end up in jail for life, end up, murdered, or, somebody calls the police and the police show up, and it goes terribly wrong so often. There's so many what ifs about this. What if I didn't come down with my son? And what if I came down and saw two people on top of my son? I don't think my reaction would have been the same. What if there was a cop waiting at the door, and the same ruckus was happening with the lady and the manager? Again, they would have believed. They would have probably sided the same way the manager sided, against the Black kid. because you know why? He looks like, you know, in their mind, the stereotype says that, you know, the black person is the criminal, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
You know, and it's so unfortunate, and that's the narrative that we're trying to dispel every day by the lives we live, by the way we try to, you know, let people know that, you know, my son is a beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful being, a gentle soul, who deserves everything that's coming to him in life. He doesn't need it to steal. He doesn't have to steal anything, you know. So why would this person wrongly assume that my son is the one who stole her phone that magically reappeared, you know? And it's just ridiculous, you know. And I imagine many people have seen the video of her on the Gayle King, and the empty apology, and the quickness, you know, to get to let's just get over this. This is something that's been going on for hundreds of years for Black people, being wrongly accused, wrongly.
I know about it. I've been through it, brother. I've been through it. You know what I'm saying?
This, you know, and unfortunately, most men of color, have been through it and been profiled and been wrongly accused. And then, you know, people, you know, Attorney Crump always says, you know, guilty until proven innocent. And that's what it was when the manager saw me, when the girl saw my son. We were guilty. My son was guilty. And they wanted to be the people to be the judge, jury, and executioner at the same time, you know. But at that point, I'm like, no, my son deserves more. His dignity is at play. His dignity is on the line. So no, you can't see his phone. Why? Because you don't have any real reason to actually even try to check it. As a matter of fact, you're overstepping his civil rights.
That's right.
You know, and these are the kind of nuances that many people don't see. They don't understand, and people can easily say, just like Kat said, "Oh, why didn't you just show the phone?" I mean, I seen some comments today. If I wonder if it would have been de-escalated if you would have just showed your phone. Well, I wonder if it wouldn't have been an issue at all if the manager said, "Listen, ma'am, you might want to retrace your steps. These are my customers. You know, you go over here, they go over here, and you know what? Let me speak to Mr. Harrold and see if he may have seen your phone." You know, but the difference is, the nuance is, this person said, "You stole my phone. He has my phone." That's very different than asking somebody in a way that says, "I wonder if you've seen it." But being accusatory, that's a whole nother thing. And, you know, the pretense that people feel that, oh, just because she's not Black, you know what, that she must have some kind of upper hand and that she's right, that narrative needs to be dispelled.
Absolutely.
Because my son is not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. We're not a criminal family. And we shouldn't have to walk down the stairs and feel that way and be convicted of that by somebody who actually is a criminal.
And that's what I was about to ask Kat. You know what I mean? She has a criminal history, you know, throughout her, and she's only 22 years old. Yep. And it's obvious when you saw her interview with the regal Gayle King, the disrespect she gave her. And then what was up with her having that daddy hat on during that interview too? Like that's what I mean. Like, it's a shame that Black folks have clean records. You see what I'm saying? And then you have another person where there's an incident that has a checkered past, but we're the ones that are behind the 8 ball, no pun intended with the 8 ball. You see what I'm saying? So, but Kat, talk about you know, how her true colors are being shown in this situation.
Well, it's textbook. If you see what happened with Trayvon Martin's killer, which I will not say his name, you know, I was scared. So her excuses, she was scared in New York by herself. She was gonna visit her dad. And so that daddy hat was reaching out to those people for, I don't know what. But what people don't understand is right before that incident, it has come to light that she broke an Airbnb door with an extinguisher. So she wasn't that scared to break somebody's door and then go tackle somebody. Right? But it is textbook, for when white folks are put on the stand, when their true colors come out. I was scared and I just defended myself. Okay. Well, we defended ourselves. And guess what? You thought that it was going to be a different outcome, but this family has raised our son to be a citizen and a kid.
Yes, class personified, your entire family, absolutely.
When she tackled him, he could have called her out her name, but he didn't. He walked away after he showed her his phone, said, "No, this is my phone." After he was going to take out the phone to give it to the manager, and at that point, his dad, that's when he said, "No, you don't have to give your phone to anyone." So this person that has 2 DUIs.
Yep. And anger management issues.
Management issues. You're supposed to have a suspended license after 2 DUIs. We clearly saw you, New York Post posted your video.
That's right.
Way in a car.
Out of a McDonald's. Yep.
Out of a McDonald's. So if you have 2 DUIs and you're still driving, there's something wrong. That is already, society is already giving her the benefit of the doubt.
No question.
This onward cycle of us having to suck it up has to stop. It has to stop. Meanwhile, when it's someone else, they have anger issues. They need help. Well, our son, he needs help to get over this trauma. It even pushes me more to stand up. So Arlo, you let this happen. We will not stand by it. So everyone out there, please again, text KEYON to 55156 to sign a petition to stand up against racial profiling in hotels that think that it's okay. The manager is back at work. He was not suspended. He is there. Someone saw him there. He actually called the police on someone that was with a sign outside.
Oh, wow.
She would have called the police on the person that tackled our son.
Do you both expect justice to be served? Because she's coming back, I believe, late March, right? To go back into court in New York. Will justice be served, or will this, already the attorneys come up with some crazy stuff? That's always the crutch, So will justice be served? Or do you both believe that this will happen?
I pray that it does.
Hello.
I don't know history.
Yeah.
We know that Trayvon Martin's killer was set free. We all know that Emmett Till's killer was arrested, but not convicted, right? We all know that Sandra Bland went straight from that traffic light to jail.
Yep.
It took 3 weeks to find this woman. So, yes, I would love for justice to be served. Right now they're doing misdemeanors because it's hard to prove intent.
Wow, that was a felony, but okay, wow.
Right?
Wow.
I mean, but even on that, we can't really speak too deeply on it.
Right.
But it is it's day by day that we'll just keep plugging away.
Absolutely.
And because the fight for justice is not just about us; it's about other
All
people
of us.
as well.
All of us.
It's about when you have your seed, Nabaté. And just it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's not as simple as 1, 2, 3.
No doubt. And real quick, y'all, I know time. I know you guys got to go. And real quick, what's going on musically for each of you on a positive tip? What's going on musically for each of you? Kat, we'll start with you, and then Keyon will close out with you.
Well, I'm putting all of my effort and energy. Keyon Senior had an amazing idea. You know, our son is musical. It's not because we
Yes, indeed.
he's it. If you've been seeing him on Instagram, he took up DJing. He has become an amazing producer,
Mhm.
and for a little while before this happened, he was singing this song every day. He was trying to get it right. Unjustified. And then one day he's like, Mom, I need your help. I went into the room and I sang it for him and then I wrote lyrics. And then his dad um, had this amazing idea of taking him after this incident happened to put a smile on his face, taking him to the studio. And he brought all of his friends to the studio. So his
Mhm.
dad brought all of Keyon's friends to the studio and we recorded 2 original songs and 2 J. Cole songs because J. Cole is little Keon's
Oh yeah.
artist.
Mhm.
And we're just working on that. I'm just working on that, trying to get that together for him so that he can have something that's a positive light throughout this whole situation. Um, because music is that for us. You know,
It
it's a
heals.
he's in therapy, but he also, I believe in musical therapy. And when you submerge yourself in music, it lightens the load, right? It makes you
Mhm.
feel a little
Mhm.
lighter. And so that's what I'm putting my whole self into that right now with him. And I'm excited for you guys to hear it. Gail King played a little snippet of Unjustified Times on her
Nice.
episode. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Excellent. Wow. And Keon, real quick, brother. What you doing?
Oh man, it's been an interesting time. I haven't done a lot of music
Yeah.
since December 26th, but before that, I have been doing a lot of different things that are slated to come out. I recorded an album, a couple albums. So this year will be filled with music from me very, very soon.
All right.
Um, you know, projects that I've produced and recorded and paid for myself. So that'll be coming soon. Um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of different things. A lot of projects I worked on. A couple of records that are up for Grammys
Mhm.
coming up. So I'm excited about that as well.
No doubt. Well, I appreciate the both of you for joining me on So Much to Talk About. Much love to the both of you. I've known you for such a long time, and I appreciate you. I see y'all as family for sure. And anything else I can do for y'all, let me know. You know, definitely. Especially let me keep me posting on the rallies and everything for sure.
Absolutely.
All
Mine.
My
right.
pleasure.
Cool. Thank you all for watching So Much to Talk About. Take care, everybody. Be kind to each other and stay woke. God bless.